This is Touch 'Em All. I am Kayla Kinnear. I'm here with Mark Carman and our NFL insider and Knicks fan, Matt Verderam. Matt, big news out of the Knicks organization this morning. As a tortured lifelong Knicks fan, fill in the blank. I feel blank about Phil Jackson being fired.
Very happy. It's the first time as a Knicks fan I've been happy probably in about 20 years. So, I mean, I'm tempering that knowing that it's still the Knicks and they could like bring back Isaiah Thomas in an hour, but I'm really just happy that he's gone. And as far as I'm concerned, Phil Jackson is dead.
Well, so I think it's fair to say that Phil Jackson failing in New York, coming from where he was, 6-time champion with the Bulls, 5-time champion with the Lakers, won a championship playing for the Knicks, albeit as a guy off the bench back in the day. I mean, this is like the most epic failure and something no one really saw coming. I mean, I didn't think Phil Jackson was going to be necessarily Red Auerbach in his prime, but I mean, this has been an epic, epic disaster. I didn't think that this would ever happen. I don't think anyone did.
I think that's going to be the title of the Knicks book, an epic, epic disaster, right? But like as a Knicks fan, it doesn't even feel like that. It just feels like what the Knicks do. Like it's not like a bigger disaster than Isaiah Thomas was. Like it's just another disaster. As a Knicks fan, like you're not used to things not being a disaster. So like Phil Jackson came in and was utterly terrible. And I remember like my father's a lifelong Knicks fan. Like we had these conversations and he was so excited that they brought in Phil Jackson because my dad watched Phil Jackson play, loves Phil Jackson. It was pretty evident early on, like this is terrible. This is an awful, awful idea. And no, and then they pick up a $24 million option and then they fire him.
Just 2 months ago.
Not that I care. Like listen, believe me, not my money. By all means, fire him. I don't care. Cut him a $24 million check. Let him go have peyote in Montana. But like, the incompetence level of that is just mind-blowing.
Well, so here's the thing, right? They didn't anticipate that he was going to have the end-of-season battle with Kristaps Porzingis, where he's going to have I'm not going to show up for the exit interview, and now Phil's going to all of a sudden consider trading their only valuable part. I mean, that was really the end, right?
Yes. Yes,
I was going to say, what do you think the final straw was, that or the Melo drama?
I think Porzingis, just because Melo, at least you can make an argument like, look, okay, he's got to go, he's older, they're trying to rebuild. It's still ridiculous, but at least you can understand some of it. Porzingis is 21 years old. He's one of the top 15 players in the league. He's only going to get better. Like the idea that you're going to trade him, as Phil put it in that MSG interview, to get the future brighter is just insane. And I think if they ever make a documentary about the crap fest that's been the Knicks, that interview is going to start the show. That interview is going to be where people are just like, this was the Knicks in 2017.
Well, it's also fun to look back at the press conference back in 2014, and they're sitting up there, and it looks like the Knicks are on the verge, kind of like when they brought in Pat Riley, like this is like that level guy, but of course Riley was coaching the team.
Right.
Different animal. And Phil probably should have coached the team considering he wanted to run the triangle. I also think, look, it was $54 million for Carmelo for 2 years, $24 for Phil. Not a math expert, that's $30 million though. So maybe at the end of the day, well, it's one of the two. I'll take the $30 million or the 24 to save 30.
It could be. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Jackson leaves behind Porzingis, Hernan Gomez, and perhaps a young, good rookie coming in now out of France, Frank Nikita Lida, or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Who cares? Doesn't matter. We'll see if it matters in a few years.
Supposedly fits well in the triangle. That's not going to be run.
Don't care. Don't care. He can shoot the three and he can play defense. That much I know. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know what he can do. Right. That being said, look, it's another train wreck. And now the biggest question is like, is the next guy a train wreck? Because James Dolan's still running the show. And he's an insane person. So like, as long as an insane person's still running the show, it's like if somebody's in a relationship, they get out of a bad relationship, but they just have a track record of horrendous relationships. You're like, well, that's great, you got out of that relationship, but now you're gonna go be in another horrendous relationship. Like, at some point, the cycle needs to stop, right? So
talking about our love lives here.
I'm not, but with you, I ought to be. Like, so I think that's just the point, right? Like, at some point, if you don't break that cycle, it's pointless. So the Knicks have to now break the cycle.
So Masai Ujiri, the GM in Toronto, is rumored. He's had quite a moment ripping the Knicks off in the Andrew Bargnani trade, getting a first-round pick there. Would you leave Toronto to come to the Knicks and work for James Dolan? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either, but money talks. And if Dolan throws some insane amount of money, he says, well, I'll double your salary, then yeah, absolutely.
Money does talk.
Speaking of money, I have a fun fact for you guys. Phil Jackson was the highest paid executive at $12 million a year. Who is in that spot now? Do you know?
The highest paid executive in the league right now?
In professional sports.
Oh, in professional sports. Bill Belichick?
That was going to be my guess too.
Theo Epstein to $1 million.
Well, as well he should be.
He deserves it. No, but I mean, look, I think that would be a great hire for the Knicks. Like, he's done a great job in Toronto. That's not always the easiest place to build a team because the Canadian dollar is different than the American dollar, and it's hard to get free agents up there when they know it's going to be freezing when they could go play in Miami. But he's done a really good job. Lowry, DeRozan, this is a team. Bismarck Biyombo, brought him in now, of course, with the Magic, but got him in there, went on a playoff run. I would be thrilled as a Knicks fan if they bring him in.
It was a good decision to not re-sign Bismarck Biyombo.
See, the Knicks, that's the difference.
Right.
The Knicks would have signed him for the max.
Oh, they would have signed Joakim Noah for 4 years and $72 million.
You want to throw that in my face on a good day? That really, talk about legacy. And yesterday, by the way, it also came out, ESPN reported that Derrick Rose was a legitimate option for the Knicks. That should be the first question to every prospective GM. How do you feel about Derrick Rose? And if the answer is anything other than he's garbage, no way, not a chance in hell, he's off
I think
my
I
list.
even saw a tweet or something about that from him.
I was right.
It depends on the years with Rose. If it's 1 year, that's no big deal for the Knicks right now. But if it's more than that, then I don't think there's any market for Derrick Rose out there.
I agree with you. Like, 1 year wouldn't be a disaster. But my point is, like, why? You know, like, you just drafted a young guard.
Sure.
Let him play. You're not winning a championship. Like, let the kid play. Let Hernan Gomez play alongside Porzingis. If you keep Melo, like, let that be forfeit to your starting lineup. And just play and see what you've got. Because the idea that Derrick Rose is any part of the future is a joke. He's not part of anybody's future.
Bring Derrick Rose back to Chicago. They need a point
Go
guard.
for it, by all means.
Or, I don't know, maybe they'll end up with the Clippers if Chris Paul goes to Houston. A lot of
That
stuff
would
going
be
on.
interesting. I think just Rose, quickly. Rose is a valuable player off somebody's bench. Like, if you're a contending team and he's like your backup third guard, fine, that's great. But if you're the Knicks, like, what point is there?
Derrick Rose just broke your TV or broke his computer if he's watching this video, which he probably isn't. Actually, he's definitely not. But can you believe that? Dear Derrick Rose, yeah, you'd be a great guy off the bench there. I mean, that's the reality.
That's
That is the
That's
reality.
what he is at this point in his career. And it would probably elongate his career.
Yeah, 25 minutes off the bench, come in and score.
That's it.
That's probably reality right there. All right, Matt, you congratulations. No more Phil Jackson for you. Doesn't necessarily mean your future is
Keep
super
your
bright.
Porzingis.
But to all Knicks fans, Matt Verderame is with you. Congratulations on your big day. No more Phil Jackson.
Probably going to screw it up, boys, but just enjoy it while it lasts.